Alright guys, as some of you may know, I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan. I've been searching all over Netflix to watch Dragon Ball episodes, but unfortunately Netflix here just doesn't have them. But you know which version of Netflix does? Netflix Japan. Some of you might be wondering, how on earth am I accessing Netflix Japan, right? Well, that's where NordVPN comes in. NordVPN is one of the top VPN services out there. It allows you to mask your location and browse securely, which is perfect for protecting your privacy. Plus, NordVPN can basically change your location to anywhere in the world with just a few clicks. So it's just as easy as that. That's how I'm able to access Netflix Japan and binge all of the Dragon Ball episodes that I can fathom. It's not just about watching international shows, however. NordVPN adds an extra layer of security basically as you're browsing, so your personal information stays safe and your online activity remains private. If you want to unlock more content and protect your privacy online, head over to nordvpn.com/Harariboy to get over 70% off a 2-year subscription plus 3 months free. And if you don't like it, you can cancel within 30 days and get a money back guarantee. It is worth the peace of mind and extra content you'll have access to. Thank you. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 4 of the Harariboy Podcast. I'm your host, Harariboy. We have a whole slew of topics to cover, so let's get into it. Alright, so the agenda for today's episode, we're going to go over why you should be investing today, the correlation between marriage and money, micropreneurship, alternatives to getting a degree, and we're going to go over an example of people living paycheck to paycheck on a 6-figure salary. So stay tuned for all of that. Alright, so for our first topic here, why you should invest today. The S&P 500, it is reported that it's about to hit an all-time high this year. And if that happens, that's usually a good economic indicator for a great economic year, according to economists and past performance indicators. Let's go ahead and watch this video and we'll go ahead and react.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Let's catch up a little bit. There is a company called Standard & Poor. They are one of the companies that rates things on the stock market. The most famous thing that they rate, there's a company called Dow Jones that has an average of the industrial companies, which creates the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is a little strange because a lot of the companies are not industrial anymore that are part of that average.
An old-timey term.
But it comes from the, when America was more manufacturing driven than it is today. The S&P, Standard & Poor, rates the largest 500 companies that are publicly traded, meaning their stock is sold on what we call the big board, the New York Stock Exchange. So these are the largest 500 companies that sell stock in America. And that means as this group of companies goes, is a good indication of what the economy is doing. It's a good indication, certainly, of what the stock market is doing, because basically they make up the vast majority of the stock market. So the top 500 companies on the New York Stock Exchange is called the S&P, Standard & Poor S&P 500. Now, that's important because that's actually a better way of measuring what the stock market is doing than the Dow is, okay, or the Dow Jones Industrial Average or any other measure for that matter. This is a very generic measure, and people in the financial world use the S&P 500 as a plumb line to tell what the market is doing. So if a mutual fund, for instance, outperforms the S&P 500, that means the mutual fund is making better returns than the market as a whole. If it underperforms the S&P 500, it makes less returns. So all that's important. Nice article, James, our producer, pulled up for us. If the S&P 500 hits a new all-time high in 24, you can expect a strong year of gains to follow, according to Ned Davis Research. The investment firm crunched the numbers and found that when the S&P 500 hits at least one record high in a given year, that year's median return is about 15%. So what they're saying is that when the stock market tops out and has a new record, that is almost always a year that you get great returns. Well, duh. Obviously, if the stock market's hitting a new record, you ought to be getting great returns. It kind of makes sense, right? So
good foreshadowing, guys.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense.
That's encouraging.
It's an interesting. It is a valid statistical correlation. So I like the study. The S&P 500 has tended to post double-digit gains in years with record highs. Ned Davis Research said the data point highlights two typical characteristics of the stock market: that strength begets more strength, and that stocks don't typically crash from all-time highs. So just because it goes way up generally means it's going to go up. It doesn't mean it's going to go right back down. And that makes sense, of course, too. Of course, this stat is not a slam dunk. The S&P is less than 2% away from hitting a new all-time high. If it were to do that in the next day or two or the next month or two, then the historical data indicates that you're going to have a great year. Which also makes sense because it wouldn't have hit a high if it hadn't moved towards a great year. But it doesn't just jump up there and then jump down. So all this to say, we're close to hitting a new record ever in the history of the stock market, up. And if it hits that, that is a great indicator that 24 is going to be a great year to have invested, which means that if you're waiting until after the presidential election in November to do your investing, that's probably a dumb idea. If you got some money you're sitting on right now, I would buy your mutual fund like tomorrow, right now.
And if you're thinking about pulling all your money out because you saw some headlines, don't do that either.
Yeah.
We found that if you just ride this roller coaster over time, you're going to hit a new record high and a new record high. And
then it's going to go down. And then it's going to come up. And then it's going to go down. And then it's going to come up. This is how life works. I mean, it's how the real estate market works. It's how mutual funds work. It's how the whole, stock market works. The S&P 500, all this does that. So here's the deal. You got $100,000 and you wait till November and this market hits and does what this study indicates, and let's say it makes 15%, which was the average, the median. Okay. So $100,000 and you don't invest it. You wait till November. And the market goes up 15%. What'd you lose? $15,000. Because you didn't do what I just said to do. Invest. So you stock, and let me just tell you, real estate's exactly the same place right now. Is real estate going to go down? No. It's not. We have a tremendous shortage of housing. There's more buyers, even in a sluggish, slow market where people are sitting on the sidelines because interest rates spiked up. Now they're coming back down. They're coming off the sidelines in the last 2 weeks like never before. But if you wait a year to buy a house because you're somehow waiting to time the market, you've got this mysterious insight that you think things are going to go down, you're wrong. And if you wait a year to invest in the market because you're waiting on the market to come down, you're going to miss it. And if I'm wrong, give it another 12 months and I won't be wrong because it'll come up. I mean, really. So I got to tell you, what is Dave Ramsey doing right now? Buying. Period. Investing. Period. I'm not waiting on the clash of the old men, Trump and Biden. I'm not waiting on two 80-year-olds to have an MMA to decide what I'm going to do. Because who the crap knows? One of them may break a hip.
Well, it's more like bumper cars that are running out of battery bumping into each other more than a clash.
It's like two Muppets. The old men Muppets, right? So
Statler and Waldorf, is that them?
That's him.
Oh, my gosh.
So you don't wait on this. Don't watch Fox News and CNN and let your butt sit on the bench. Get in the game. Shoot the ball. Fire. Pull the trigger. Whatever metaphor we need to use to cause you to actually do the investing.
Sports, weaponry, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes to get you moving here. We'll go whichever direction you need to go.
And this validates a lot of what you've been saying for 30 years, Dave. We looked at historical data, and the S&P 500 average annual return is 10 to 12%. And they're saying right here, this is could be a year about 15% median return. And people always go, well, Dave, I'm not getting that in my account. Well, yeah, dummy, not in a given 1 month period will you see that, but over time, The average is
It's
12%.
the average.
That's how averages work.
Averages.
I think we all need to go back to basic math.
Statistical. Yeah, these sixth grade math classes that people flunked. But yeah, that's the thing. So all of this to say, boys and girls, please be steadily investing. Please. The people that invest are the ones that have money. There's a high correlation between people who save money, invest money, that have money. Hello. Why was that deep? You know, if you don't put any money in the account, please don't expect any money to be in the account. Why is that hard?
Well,
but just keep doing it. Just keep doing it.
I think there's a lot of fear, and it's why I love working with a financial pro, SmartVestor Pro. Great person to work with, to reach out to a financial advisor, an investment pro, and go, help me understand this. And you make the decisions. And they're not going to pull the money out for you. You are calling the shots here, and they're going to help you understand the perspective that we're showing you on the show today.
Yeah, you can pull up the historical data and look at the track records, look at the trend lines. It's really not hard to understand. I mean, it's really not. I mean, if you pull up in a neighborhood and there's cars up on blocks and the gutters are falling off the houses and the place, everything you see needs weed eaters, then and then you pull up the MLS data on that neighborhood and you see the values have been going down, it doesn't require rocket surgery to figure out that this thing's going down in value. I mean, it's just not hard. And if you pull up in the neighborhood and everything's manicured and it looks like freaking Leave It to Beaver lives there, and you go pull up MLS data on that, you're going to see a line up and to the right. Hello. Well, it doesn't take a rocket surgeon to figure that out either. Go buy a house in that neighborhood. These are trend lines. It's historical data. You can watch this stuff.
So do you have a minute to connect? Let's Minect. That's right, guys. I'm officially on Minect now. You guys can go ahead and book me. I will be offering financial as well as career coaching based off of the Dave Ramsey principles, of course. So yeah, feel free to contact me, connect with me on Minect, and I look forward to speaking with each and every single one of you. Alright, so you saw what he had to say there. Basically, the moral of the story is follow the principles I laid out in my previous video episode. Basically, we went over how to allocate the percentages for the mutual funds and how to invest in mutual funds as a whole. Also, you never want to jump off of a roller coaster as it goes down. So the stock market is going up and down at all times, and those who jump off way too early lose out on all of the gains. So my recommendation is to always buy and hold long term. So get in now. Don't wait until November, like Dave Ramsey said. You don't want to, wait till the end of the year. Start now. Start as little as you can afford, and you'll be surprised at how much you can get out of it. Now for today's sponsor, Rogue Energy. If you love energy or if you love hydration, Rogue Energy is your one-stop shop. I personally love to use the energy supplement as it helps me focus when I work, and it also helps me power through workouts when I go to the gym. I also love to use the hydration whenever I go out for a run or do any type of cardio activity. It really helps me replace my lost electrolytes. Make sure to use my code Harariboy at checkout for 10% off your purchase. Alright guys, now for our next segment, the correlation between marriage and money. Believe it or not, there is a correlation between the two. Essentially, there's a study out there that Dave Ramsey likes to cite as well, which says that if an individual graduates high school, gets married, and starts family planning from there, they almost always win with money and retire wealthy. So that's the correlation that a lot of researchers have found. Let me go ahead and play this video and we'll go ahead and react. So do you have a minute to connect? Let's Minect. That's right, guys. I'm officially on Minect now. You guys can go ahead and book me. I will be offering financial as well as career coaching based off of the Dave Ramsey principles, of course. So yeah, feel free to contact me, connect with me on Minute, and I look forward to speaking with each and every single one of you.
Mary is with us. She's in Seattle. Hey, Mary, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How can we help?
Okay, so I was an idiot. I was in love with a man that convinced me to co-sign on a 2019 Jetta in the fall of 2021. I'm not in that relationship anymore. But anyway, last summer I convinced him to turn the vehicle back into the dealer, basically voluntarily repossess it. He could not pay the payment on time, and I was also helping him, and he made more than me. But anyway, so Volkswagen hasn't sold the vehicle yet at auction, but when it's sold, of course, me and him are going to be on the hook for whatever is left on the loan. Mm-hmm. So I want to know if there's anything I can do. He does have a settlement for a Harley that he got in an accident and wasn't his fault, and he's going to get compensated for that. I was also a co-signer on the Harley because I was stupid. But that bike has been paid off. He's just waiting for the settlement. I'm wondering, can I put a lien on a settlement, or what can I do? I have text messages from him saying that he will pay off the Jetta, but I don't trust that that's going to happen.
It sounds like that's a correct assessment to me. Where was that girl?
Yeah.
Oh, Mary, I'm so sorry. What a horrible mess.
Yeah, well,
what a sad way to learn a horrible lesson, too, isn't it?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 60, and he was 43, so okay. I had a little bit of the share complex going on or something there.
The share complex. You're great.
Yeah.
You're great.
Yeah.
Okay, so how much money do you have?
How much money do I have?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm on baby step one. I'm just starting out.
You don't have any money?
I don't have any money. I have $3,000 in credit card debt that I have consumer credit.
What do you make?
$61,000 a year.
Okay. What was owed on the Jetta? Do you know?
$29,000 and change.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's just make up some numbers for a second, just to give you an example. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's pretend that Jetta, when he turned it in, was worth 20. On the repo lot, let's pretend that it sells for 12.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It might get 15 for it. But we could say 9. Anyway, so let's say there's a $15,000 deficit when you're done.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And they come to you as the co-signer, and they want $15,000. Well, the first thing you tell them is what you told me. I have no money.
Right.
I don't have any money. I got $3,000 in credit card debt, and I have 0 cash saved, and I don't have any money. That's the first thing you tell them, which is also, by the way, the truth. And you can tell them where he is and where his Harley account is, and that he is getting a settlement, and that they should get the money from him.
Okay.
And help them get it from him. That's the best thing you can do. If that doesn't work, and you and I are both suspect it won't, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the good news is you can usually settle a repossession deficit for somewhere around 10 to 20 cents on the dollar. And so if it's $15,000 owed, $1,500 to $3,000 will settle it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but if you get to that point, that means you're going to have gotten out of debt. You're going to have built up a little bit of an emergency fund of $5,000 or $10,000 or something before they get around to bothering you with this. And then when they call and bother you, you say, okay, you go after him. And they say, well, we tried. And you say, well, you ought to try again because I got no money. And then they come back at you again. Then you say, hey, just want to settle my part. I don't want to settle his part. So you can still go after him for more if you want, but I'll give you $1,500 for my part.
Mm-hmm.
And start working with him. And you'll have to jostle back and forth with him and argue with him some, but you probably will get it for $1,500 or $2,000, $3,000, and then let him leave his part there. Don't settle the whole debt. Say, I want the portion, but I need in writing from you that the portion of my name is settled in full. That I owe nothing. That I owe nothing else, and you can go after him for whatever you want.
Right. Perfect. Okay, that's a lot better than I thought.
Yeah, you're in better shape. It's not going to kill you here, but you do have to go ahead and get the rest of your money straightened up.
Yeah, and then you just have the $3,000 in credit card debt. Is there anything else?
I own a house with my ex-husband, and we both pay half of the mortgage on it, and it's probably worth about $800,000 here in Seattle, but we owe like $170,000.
Who lives in it?
Myself, my two sons, and there's a mother-in-law apartment, so the ex lives there too. But we're not together or anything. We just, we get along. It works for us, and that was my choice many years ago when we divorced. So. Wow.
Okay. All right. Well, then, you've got that asset. You don't want them attaching that asset, so you do want to settle this.
Right.
So you do need to get the rest of your stuff under control, so you got a little cash built up, war chest before the war comes.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Perfect.
Well, we're usually talking to a 24-year-old that did something like this, but you can still give anybody that's dating someone the same warning: never co-sign for someone that never buy anything on debt in any way, or even co-own something with someone you're not married to. Would you testify to that, Miss Mary?
I will preach it to the mountains. Absolutely. I will never do that. And it doesn't matter how good looking you are and how good looking he is, and how much of a share complex you want to have. It's not worth it.
Wow.
That's a great testimony.
That's very good. You did a good job, Mary. We're proud of you. You'll be okay. If you need more help, we're here to help you, okay?
Thank you so much. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks for calling in.
What's your old quote, Dave? Testimony is a wonderful thing to have.
Getting one's a pain in the butt.
Yeah. That's what Mary just experienced with her share complex.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, she's great.
That was a fun way to end.
Great. But the whole co-signing thing, man, dangerous stuff, obviously.
There's proof.
Dangerous stuff.
If you needed it.
All right, so you saw what he said there. Basically, that caller is a very, very good example of, why you should be following these steps in order and not out of whack. You definitely want to win financially. And, when things are not followed step by step, as the study has shown, those people don't usually win with money. Another tidbit I want to add to that is marriage increases your risk, right? We as Muslims, we believe in this heavily. We definitely encourage young Muslims to get married as soon as possible. When you do get married, religiously it is Islamically it is said that your risk, which is your wealth, pretty much increases with that. So it's a blessing, and a lot of people that do get married, that is number one indicator of building wealth. Pretty much that's it. Get married, have children, make sure you have a good educational background and good career, and from there you will win with money. Also, guys, make sure to check out my merch. I do a new merch drop every single month, so link is in the description below. Go ahead and check that out. Thank you. All right, guys, so that brings us to our next topic here, micropreneurship. So what is a micropreneur? Essentially, a micropreneur, some of you guys may have heard, some of you guys may have not heard of it, but it's similar to a side hustle. However, it's unique in the sense that it's kind of a step up. So let me go ahead and read you the official definition of this, and then we'll go ahead and break it down further. A micropreneur, short for micro entrepreneur is an individual who operates a small scale business, typically with a focus on a niche market, keyword niche, and often as a solo entrepreneur. Micropreneurs often run businesses that require minimal resources, have low startup costs, and may serve as a specialized or local customer base. They are characterized by their hands-on involvement in all aspects of their business, from product development to marketing and customer service. Micropreneurs typically aim for sustainable and personally fulfilling ventures rather than rapid and extensive growth. So yeah, you heard that. Essentially, um, the reason why I said it is a step up because that's when you are branching out a little bit. That's where you are growing, outsourcing, serving your customer base at a little bit larger scale, but not, such a large scale that, you're pretty much doing this full time. Yeah, so let's go ahead and break it down first. I do have this video I want to show you guys real quick on the topic, and then let's go ahead and respond to that.
A micropreneur is an entrepreneur who operates a very small business, typically with 5 or fewer employees.
Yeah, so keynote right there, a small business with 5 or fewer employees. So a side hustler typically is solo. Yeah.
Including the owner. These businesses often start with minimal capital and focus on a niche market. Micropreneurship is a powerful engine for economic growth and individual empowerment. It represents the democratization of business ownership, allowing individuals to pursue
Yeah, so passion and opportunities, keep that in mind.
their passions and create their own opportunities. This entrepreneurial spirit fuels innovation and creates jobs, contributing significantly to local and national economies. Micropreneurship offers a pathway to financial independence and personal fulfillment. The significance of micropreneurship goes beyond individual success. Micro-businesses create jobs, foster competition, and drive innovation. They often cater to specific community needs, providing personalized services and products. The flexibility and autonomy offered by micropreneurship are attractive to many. With technology,
Yeah, especially with AI going very rampant. As long as you have a niche market and you're serving, a community, like they said, if there's a need for your services, something that you're very good at, essentially, yeah, it's a very, very good startup for you.
lowering barriers to entry, more people than ever have the opportunity to start their own businesses. The rise of e-commerce and social media marketing has made it easier to reach customers and build a brand. This accessibility empowers individuals to take control of their financial futures. Micropreneurship provides a pathway for individuals to create something of their own. The ability to control one's own schedule.
Yeah, so this is something you're doing on your own. It still could be something you're doing on the side. You don't have to quit your job for this. However, it is a way to pretty much, level up for a lack of a better term. You'll see what I mean here in a second.
And work-life balance is another appealing aspect. Traditional entrepreneurship involves larger-scale operations, significant capital investment, and a focus on rapid growth.
Yes, start off small. Don't take, a huge bite out of the apple at the beginning anyways. Yeah, essentially keyword, you can still do this on the side. It's not a side hustle, but it is something that you are doing at a little bit of a larger scale and generating a good source of income for you in case anything were to happen.
Micropreneurs prioritize a manageable scale, starting with limited resources and focusing on sustainable growth.
Yep.
Traditional entrepreneurs seek venture capital and market dominance, while micropreneurs value lifestyle flexibility and community impact. Micropreneurships are lean.
Yeah, so as you're, and they're going to continue to explain this, but as you're at the micropreneurship stage, you're very hands-on. You don't have to worry about monitoring like have to have the worry of not monitoring your employees at all times. Essentially, you'll have so few employees that you'll pretty much know what's going on at any given basis.
Leaner and more agile, with owners directly involved in all aspects of the business. This allows for quick decision-making and adaptation to market changes. It fosters closer relationships with customers and employees. Micropreneurship offers financial independence while maintaining a fulfilling personal life.
Yeah, so I always like to say, especially when I hear a lot of people, throwing it out there, oh, I spend this much on marketing. How much should I spend on marketing to get more customers? I will tell you right now, the best type of marketing is a free type of marketing that doesn't require much money at all. Just do right by people. Word of mouth marketing is the fastest way to spread. I know a lot of engineers that they do no marketing whatsoever, and they're generating millions in revenue just because of the people they know, and the services they provide, being honest, just clients pretty much loving them. That will go a long way.
Small-scale businesses offer personalized service that larger corporations can't replicate. This builds strong customer relationships and loyalty. They respond quickly to market changes.
Yes, so understanding your clientele, that's another key factor for this.
Their lean structure allows for fast adaptation and innovation. Micro businesses are deeply embedded in their communities. They tailor products to local tastes and preferences. Small businesses are often more innovative
Wow.
and willing to take risks. According to the U.S. Small Business Administration, micro businesses make up the vast majority of businesses in the United States. They contribute significantly to job creation and economic growth. Micro businesses span various industries, from retail and food service to professional services and online businesses. They often fill niche markets and cater to specific community needs. The prevalence of micro businesses underscores their importance to the economy. Online platforms and e-commerce have fueled their growth, providing access to a global market. Many individuals are turning to side hustles as a way to supplement their income, pursue their passions, or explore new business ideas. The gig economy and the rise of online platforms have made it easier than ever to start a side hustle. This trend reflects a desire for greater financial security and personal fulfillment. Side hustles offer flexibility and control over one's work schedule. They also provide a platform for testing business ideas before committing full-time. Side hustles contribute significantly to the economy by generating.
Yeah, so just like you said there, you start off as a side hustle. Try not to stay there for too long. Try to elevate into a micropreneurship type of positioning, so that way you can scale up and have something bigger going on for you.
Income, creating jobs, and fostering innovation. They allow individuals to develop new skills and explore different career paths. Many successful businesses started as side hustles. The gig economy provides a framework for individuals to offer their services and expertise. This flexible work arrangement caters to the evolving needs of the modern workforce. Side hustles empower individuals to take control of their financial futures. Numerous success stories demonstrate the power of micropreneurship. Individuals have turned their passions into thriving businesses, creating jobs and contributing to their communities. These stories inspire aspiring entrepreneurs and demonstrate the potential of small-scale ventures. From handmade crafts to online services, micropreneurs are finding success in diverse fields. One example is a stay-at-home mom who started a successful online bakery, selling custom cakes and pastries. She leveraged social media to build her brand and reach customers. Her small business allows her to balance work and family life while pursuing her passion for baking. Another successful micropreneur started a mobile pet grooming service catering to busy pet owners. He identified a need in his community and built a thriving business by providing convenient and personalized service. A freelance writer built a successful career by offering content creation services to businesses. The future of micropreneurship is.
Yeah, so especially in today's economy, this is definitely the future. This is the way the economy is going to go. especially for Gen Z and beyond. We really have to adapt to this type of economy here. So essentially, that's what a micropreneurship micropreneur is. You're basically going to start at the side hustle level. You're going to want to scale up. A couple of tips I have to scale up are things like Fiverr.com, other freelancer websites where you can essentially outsource to people in different countries, spend pennies on the dollar for their services, whether it's marketing, trying to scale up your business, whatever the case might be. Yeah, so that would be the way to go. Before all of that, though, you have to identify what it is that is your calling. What are you good at? What do you love to do? Typically, those things go hand in hand. And how can you make that niche? Is it a certain skill set that, very few people have? You really have to do some really deep soul searching in that. And once you find that thing that you're very good at, find out how you can make money out of it. That's how you start to, go into the side hustle phase. And from there, once you're in tune with all your customers and you've been doing right by people, been very honest, and you're a very high person of high integrity, yeah, at that point, then you'll look at hiring and outsourcing elsewhere, and then you can pretty much be a micropreneur, stay a micropreneur, for the rest of your life. You don't really have to upscale to an entrepreneur, where basically you're doing that 24/7. And you know, if you're very risk averse, essentially micropreneurship is definitely something to look at, and it's nothing going away. I see a lot of people utilizing AI these days to do a lot of things. So there are options out there with the rise of technology and a lot of things. So we live in a very great day and age. I know a lot of people say we don't have it as good as our parents did. Essentially, house prices, everything has been super inflated. But yeah, this is the future, and people are not going to be solely dependent on their 9 to 5. It's okay to work a 9 to 5, but definitely build something for yourself. So that's what I want you guys to take away from this. All right, so that brings me to the final topic for today. All right. The final topic for today are degree alternatives. Now, in the last episode, I touched on this a little bit by giving you outside career paths that don't require a degree. This is very similar, but it does, require some type of training certification, but something that's easier attainable in, less time, and you can save a lot of money. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and tackle that. All right, so degree alternatives here. Essentially, let me show you this news clip real quick. A lot of companies nowadays are pretty much getting rid of their degree requirements. I'm sure you guys heard of Walmart being one of the big ones. Essentially, the managers now don't require a bachelor's degree, and that's a huge step in that direction. So that barrier of entry, it could cause some problems, by getting rid of it. I'll tell you a little joke. When I was back in school, I'm back in university. Essentially, I was reached out to by this recruiter, trying to recruit me, I guess, as an intern for some marketing position. And I flat out just told her no. I just completely blew it off because, it had nothing to do with what I was studying at the time. I was more a STEM major and everything like that. I had no idea about marketing, but she persisted and she tried to convince me about it. And then I asked her essentially, why are you looking after me when I clearly don't have the credentials? There's all these other people that might have better credentials, like, that are in the field of marketing, have done it before, stuff like that. she essentially told me, we don't care about your degree. We just care if you have a degree. The reason why we care if you have a degree is because it's very hard to get a degree. And if you persevered all those 4 years, that says something about you. And that's all we need to know. And after she told me that, I was like, okay, at least she was frankly honest. And it kind of clicked to me then. I said, okay, so that's all this is at the end of the day. Yes, you are picking up some skills, especially if you're in the STEM field and stuff like that. You can definitely do a lot. I'm not even going to talk down to school. I completed my bachelor's degree. I essentially found a lot of benefit in it, but there's a lot of people that might want another route, right? And that's okay too. Just know that it'll be a lot. Probably not these days. Maybe it'll be a little bit harder, but I will say it is a lot harder with your options being very limited. Now, with these companies essentially removing the degree requirements, what's going to happen is, yes, it's going to be easier for you, but there is that saying, if it was easy, everybody would do it, right? So I have friends literally telling me, especially in the tech space, it's becoming very, very oversaturated because of the removal essentially of the degree requirement. So now everyone is just applying for these same positions, and it's very hard to get a job in the tech space right now. And especially with AI taking, you know, it's still in its early phases, but taking some jobs. But the main thing is the oversaturation of the market. You'll have one job posting with 50 to 100 applicants. It's very competitive. So what a degree essentially allows you to do is stand out from the rest, because by the time you complete your bachelor's degree, you're already in the top 30% of the population as a whole. So the whole nation. So I rather be in the top 30% than, the bottom 100. That's the best way to put it. But yeah, I'm going to read off some alternatives that I have found. But first, I do want to show you this news break about what's going on in the economy as it pertains to college degree requirements. All right, let's take a look at this.
More companies are getting on board with dropping education requirements for jobs in an effort to fill some positions faster. IBM has stopped requiring a bachelor's degree for some positions. The CEO of pharmaceutical company Merck recently said companies could hire more people if they didn't require a degree and offered training instead. Career experts say getting rid of the education requirement can especially help people in one sector.
LinkedIn data shows that over the next 5 years, there are going to be 150 million tech jobs, digital jobs that are open for talent. Hiring based on skills and dropping degree requirements actually opens up high-paying jobs for a multitude of people.
According to economists at Opportunity at Work, when companies require a bachelor's degree, they're excluding 70% of African-American job candidates and 80% of Latinx workers.
Yeah, so you've seen that. Essentially, that's what it is. So now let me go ahead and give you guys what alternatives you can utilize to your benefit when it comes to not having a college degree. What you can do instead, and what you can tell your parents that you've decided to do instead. At the end of the day, it's about you. Your parents just want what's best for you, of course. But if you are truly passionate about something and you feel like you're good at it, maybe these alternatives are something that you can explore. The first one I kind of alluded to here, but essentially it is software development boot camps, especially with the rise of the technology and everything like that. Coding might be phasing out due to AI, but they are still high in demand. So coders and everything like that, I know a lot of companies still use them, still require them, of course, because AI is nowhere near and to the level that it needs to be to fully fulfill these jobs yet. So a lot of these boot camps, they will just cost you yeah, like a fraction of the cost of a degree, and a lot of them are free. So there are some free options out there. And there are some where they just basically are contingent upon you graduating and finding a job. Those I feel like are amazing. But yeah, you can look either at the free ones, those, or the ones. What happens is that, with the ones that are contingent upon you getting hired, if you don't get hired, it's you don't have to pay them back. If you do get hired, I think it's like what, 20% at most of them. They just deduct from your salary, but typically from these boot camps, you start out pretty near to six figures, anyways, and you just go up from there. So you'll be in good hands pursuing this if you don't want to go get a computer science degree. Digital marketing certification programs. So yeah, this is still a thing. I know it's pretty outdated now. I think it's been around for over a decade now. A very oversaturated market, but still, some openings there for that. And it shouldn't even take that long, and the cost isn't even that much. There's a lot of online programs for that as well. So definitely something to look at there, to build a lucrative career with. Sales and business development. This is a huge one. I know a lot of salespeople on the tech side, especially. And not only is your starting salary pretty high, you get high commissions, and a lot of salespeople, make upwards of 100, upwards of 200 even sometimes, and just depending on how good you are at talking to people, selling, business and all that stuff. That's probably a good route for you to take. Trade school trade school and apprenticeships. Now, this is a huge one because there's a I don't think this is going anywhere anytime soon. There is, and has been for the past 10 to 20 years, I would say, a labor shortage. So basically, our generation, let's say, people in the Generation Y, Generation Z category, all of our parents just pretty much told us, go to school, get a bachelor's degree, work an office job. And that led to a shortage in the trades, unfortunately. The reason why it's unfortunate is, yes, I know you're having to use your hands, and it's probably, intense labor, whatever the case might be. They still make a lot, like really good money. I know a lot of electricians, plumbers that make six figures at their day job, come home in the evening or on the weekends, do side side work as well. So a lot of plumbers just do like warranty work, just get called whenever a warranty for a water heater or whatever gets damaged. They get called immediately, things like that. It's a very lucrative career. You can go to the trade school route, which I don't even think a lot of high schools teach it anymore. Maybe there might be some, but essentially, if you've graduated high school, you can go to a tech school. A 2-year associate's degree typically is what it takes, and you can get into the trades that way. If you don't want to spend any money and you're lucky enough, some plumbers, some electricians, some mechanics will take you on as an apprentice. Essentially, what that means is, they'll pay you pretty good. Well, yeah, to start out, I mean, you'll be richer than a college student for sure. $20 an hour, I believe, for most of these trades, and that's like $40K a year. Pretty good living, and you're just learning. You're working, you're learning, and you don't have to pay school, take out any loans or anything like that to eventually become a electrician, plumber, mechanic. That will make high six figures in some cases. So yeah. The fifth one here is pretty obvious one. We just talked about it, entrepreneurship. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this instead of micropreneurship, micropreneurship is still great, but this is just full-time. Like if you wanted to go full-time, no degree, I know what I want to do in life, and it's not working a 9 to 5. Entrepreneurship does give you some options, especially there since there's not much of barrier to entry. The barrier of entry is you and your idea. You don't really need a degree for it. You don't need any, well, you might need a degree, you might need a certification of some sort, depending on what you're trying to do. Like if you want to be an architect, entrepreneur, yeah, you're going to need a degree for that. So there's no way to slice it sometimes, but there are a lot of options. You can be like a baker, open a restaurant, things like that, on the entrepreneur side, if you do choose to pursue that. All right, so those are my top five, I guess, favorites there. Now you guys might be wondering, like, okay, Ramsey, you gave us all these examples. Where can I look, right? Well, look no further. I'll go ahead and give you, and these are not sponsored whatsoever. I'm just letting you guys know about them so you guys can do your own free research. But for the first one, for software development boot camps, Code Academy is a good one. They offer coding courses with hands-on projects. Udacity is another one, provides nano-degree programs in various tech fields. And Laywagon, I'll try to link these in the description below. But yeah, Laywagon, and is essentially a coding bootcamp with a focus on web development. So yeah, those are three choices that I found that were great. For the digital marketing certification programs, you also have some options here. Google Digital Garage offers a variety of digital marketing courses. HubSpot Academy provides free certifications in inbound marketing, content marketing, and more. Facebook Blueprint offers certifications in advertising and marketing on Facebook. All right. And then sales and business development. Salesforce Trailhead is a good training for becoming a salesperson. Provides training modules and certifications in Salesforce, a popular customer relationship CRM platform. LinkedIn Learning, definitely LinkedIn Learning is huge. I like it. Sometimes I use it. Offers courses in sales, business development, and related soft skills. And then for trade school, your options are basically trade school, like any local associate degree program. Just pretty much Google it, but there's some local institutions, probably not that far from you as well. So I would definitely check those, check community colleges to see if they offer the programs for electricians, plumbers, HVAC, stuff like that. And then you have apprenticeship.gov, which basically connects individuals with apprenticeship opportunities across various industries. So that might be a very good resource for you guys that don't want to pay for school, but do want to get paid while learning. So there you go. All right. Entrepreneurship. Again, if you just want to, get more confidence and prepare yourself, you still have to find that niche, that, skill that you're going to develop as an entrepreneur, or offer as a service, whatever the case might be. So yeah, Coursera is a good one. They offer courses in entrepreneurship from top universities and institutions. edX is another one. Provides entrepreneurship courses and micro credentials from universities worldwide. And then, essentially these platforms cover a wide range of topics and can be a valuable resource in gaining skills in these various fields, degree alternative fields that you guys choose. So yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast episode. I tried to give you guys good information, enough information, so that way you guys can go ahead and apply this to your lives. Make sure to subscribe to my podcasts, whether it's Apple or Spotify. I'm on both. I'm also on YouTube, youtube.com/Harariboy. I upload my podcasts in parts. so you can watch them throughout the week there. And then at the end of the week, I always upload the full video version of my podcasts in case you want to see that instead. But yeah, without further ado, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe again, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Peace. So do you have a minute to connect? Let's Minect. That's right, guys. I'm officially on Minect now. You guys can go ahead and book me. I will be offering financial as well as career coaching based off of the Dave Ramsey principles, of course. So yeah, feel free to contact me, connect with me on Minect, and I look forward to speaking with each and every single one of you.